Welcome to the Wandering Inn, where we produce tabletop role-playing and actual play shows for your entertainment. If you find yourself enjoying the show, please take a moment to consider supporting the channel via the Patreon. With that support, we pay the cast, pay for the art and production for our shows, and are hoping to expand the number of shows we bring to you. All of your support is appreciated, and always remember to check the description for links related to the channel and the cast. Welcome, pull up a pew and get comfy, the show's about to start. But before it does, Manor Most Foul is set in MÖRK BORG, and our storyteller for this is Sebastian Illustration, also known as Under the Sea. Alongside this, he is also responsible for the art you'll be seeing during the show. Our cast consists of Valen Vane, Pony Punch, Syrinx, and Sheepdog. I encourage you to investigate the description to find links to their individual channels and content, except for Sheepdog, who is the owner of this channel and currently reading out the intro to you. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy Manor Most Foul.
That's right. Yeah, Bugum did venture off into the kitchen to talk for a brief while with the chef and try to suss out some new information about this mysterious hunt that has been whispered about. And yeah, upon returning, saw that the entire feasting hall was in chaotic disarray. All of the guests in sort of a delirium which devolved very quickly into almost a riotous fricassee until his lordship, Lord of the Manor, snapped his fingers and bade them all take their places kindly once at the table again and comport themselves as honored guests. After the moment of silence, and all the pieces sort of rearranging themselves around the table, all returned as it was. And the festivities resumed.
Okay. Can I ask? Was I okay where I was, or did I also suddenly find myself sitting neat and primly at the table?
You found yourself, much as you have been,
Okay.
largely in sort of shock at the scene of drastic change. And as all of this was happening around you, you could feel sort of an immense thrum, sort of a deep, like, magnetic pang as his lordship snapped his fingers. Something drummed inside of you for a moment.
Okay.
But your will is your own.
Good to know. And the
head is just like, I need to kill him. Kill Bugum too. Again.
And was that the same for the prince? Like, he didn't kind of get all complacent and sit down?
Well, the prince was already sitting.
Oh, good point.
As far as anyone is aware, the prince sort of just sat and watched, quietly sipping upon his untainted cup of rainwater.
Yeah. Okay.
And the prince will sort of lean over to Sponge, who is nearby, and well, I will say, as far as hosts go, he certainly knows how to keep a party in check.
Yes, my lord. I thought it was going to get real ruckus for a second there. Don't worry, I was about to smash their faces in just for you.
It is a shame. I might have liked to have seen that, but the night is young.
It's very true, my lord. It is very true. Many a face will be smushed.
Perhaps, yes. Stay at the ready, Sponge.
All right, and I pull out. I am ready. I am so ready. It's like I am going into battle against 4,000 people myself. Just. I'm ready, my lord.
I'm gonna lean to the side to whisper to Gritton and say, perhaps it is time that we look at the statue outside.
My experiment seems to have failed, or at least stopped briefly. Perhaps we shall go outside. Do you wish to lead the way?
I don't know if we should take the others or not.
Where is did we see Bugum right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of over by the wall. I kind
You
of
still stand. You just went back.
Yeah, I was kind of I came out of the kitchen and then I was kind of hanging around the.
Sheepy.
Yeah.
I imagine I would find it very funny if Bugum came out with like a big plate of appetizers from the kitchen.
Yep.
And like he was coming out with those and then everything happened and he was standing there with like the big plate of appetizers just looking like
still
effectively what happened. Just
still
a big
standing
silver
there,
platter
just...
full of dead rats.
Well, I think they're fine. They seem to enjoy themselves here now.
very well, you're very correct. Let's go.
All right. The two of you scamper out and away from the feast hall. No one seems to mind you're coming and going. You exit and close the large double doors behind you, and the sounds of the festivities sort of muffle behind the doors. And no one obtrudes you, no one obstructs you. You are now in the hallway of the eastern wing.
I would walk back to at basically the entryway where the statue was. And when we're there, I'll point out the one thing I already spotted briefly, which is like the blood on like the open eye sockets. And I'll just point that out and say, perhaps there is something more to find here yet.
Perhaps. Let me try something. I'm going to raise my staff. And I'm going to just say, open!
Your voice sort of reverberates through the enormity of the entrance hall and through the chambers and halls of the manor. Your voice sort of open with great authority. And for a moment of pause, there's the general silence again. The sound of the rain pattering against the walls and windows.
Oh, that didn't work.
It's quite all right. It doesn't always work, apparently. I'm going to put out my hand in my robes and let a little rat buddy crawl onto it. And I'm gonna put it onto the statue like high enough in a way that I want it to like climb to the little eye sockets and like sniff around there or like step on them and see if there's like, I don't know, anything that needs to be activated there or not. And when I've dropped the little rat on there, I'll do a little turn next to the statue to just look over the statue.
Sure. The rat is certainly capable of climbing up the statue with ease. It scampers up towards the face, towards one of the like emptied eye sockets, begins to sniff about, and then begins licking, lapping something up in one of the empty dark cavities. It seems to make sort of a satisfied little squeak.
I will, since we're standing there and testing stuff out. How will I do this? I'm trying to think if there's like a funny way to do it, but basically, I don't know if it's too high that I can't reach it myself. I can't really imagine because like I imagine it was a pretty high one that like stretched to the second floor, or first floor, wherever you live.
Yeah, there are a pair of spiraling staircases on either side of the statue that lead up to the second floor, whereupon you can reach just about the rest of it.
Yeah. I'll take a few steps up the staircase, up until the point where I am in range of the eye sockets and where my rat is. I'll let him come back onto my hand. I'll sniff at him. The sniff is if it's blood that he lapped up, which is what I think it was. And does he smell metallic-y?
Go ahead and give me a presence test.
All right. Oh no, I imagine Sphinx just like either sniffing or like licking the rat herself. Like... Oh, only a 4. Ooh-wee. All right.
It is a foul, putrid rat.
All right.
It smells of just generic filth.
All
There's
right.
sort of that like wet fur odor that overpowers anything else. You ponder for a moment if it's worth licking the rat.
Oh no, no! I fully imagine that I did that. I like it's
okay,
like
yeah, full
it's
commitment.
like putrid and I don't know what, and I'm like just not making a face and just look at the rat and say, "You need to bathe more often. I can't discern anything."
The rat bows its little head in shame.
But you have you still. I will then, without knowing for certain, oh God, bear in mind, Sphinx is a horrible person. She will get out. She will get out her knife. And she will just literally slit open the stomach of the rat. If this is too graphic, I'm sorry. Slit open the stomach of the rat and order like basically to climb back into the eye socket where she thinks the blood was, because maybe blood will do something there. And he's being sent to his noble death that way.
Yeah. What are the hit points of a rat?
You can probably just like.
No, he needs to crawl.
Oh, okay,
or
yeah.
It needs to crawl.
Just painfully.
Give me a. I would allow a strength or agility test to sort of like carve the rat open in a way where you do not like harm its organs and basically like send it into an immediate death spiral.
Yeah. Okay. That's a 14. I think that's high enough where I won't spend an omen.
Yeah, you managed to avoid puncturing any of its organs, but its like little rat intestines spill out immediately, sort of like a parachute of bile and guts, and that's sort of just like dripping in your hand, and you can see the rat immediately, sort of like its eyes widen, and it begins to shake in your palm, and you set it back onto the statue, commanding it to crawl back into the his socket.
We get a little montage with like very uplifting, like inspiring heroic music of the rat climbing like heavily.
Da 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 da. It's the final rat climb.
I was thinking the Rocky theme.
We suddenly see snow and ice like hailing in its face, like making it difficult for it.
Yeah. Like climbing Mount Everest. Yeah.
Does the Mission Impossible like grabbing from both hands, like hanging there?
The rat does its absolute best, and it does take sort of an agonizing moment. Its nimbleness is now reduced almost to none, but it does slowly leave sort of like an awful trail of its own blood and fluids behind as it sort of crawls up into the eye socket and curls there. Sort of, you can hear its like shallow but heavy like panting as it just sort of wheezes its final breaths.
I'm literally just watching this, waiting for like.
As am I.
Oh,
You do
okay.
that.
I was going to ask Grytton any reaction as Finn is.
Yeah. I mean, before as she was prepping this, I was mostly just sitting practicing. I was like, open. 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 And then I see her just cut a rat. Why'd you do that?
Because there was blood in the sockets.
And now there's more blood in the socket.
Yes. Wise of you, Grytton.
Likewise.
Anyway, it's not doing anything, but... Sheepy, do you want to have the honors to give me the solution, or do I bring it up myself?
Oh,
Or, like, not the solution, but the thing you came up with.
yeah.
Or...
I'll throw it out there. I know I'm not in the scene. I didn't wanna like go too meta and just shout it out. Be like, hey guys, what
No,
about
but
this?
do you want me in game to like just say it myself now, or do you want us to come back to the group and then you can like give it as a solution?
No. I think we could say it in the, because it's essentially there's the eye from the old man who we was on Jeff now, and he was like, and this is the part where I'm not sure if it's just a coincidence or I'm reading too deep into it. Didn't that old guy who Sponge killed by snapping his legs? Didn't he say he was waiting for the Lord to come and get something? Like, was it his eye or something like that?
May I?
Yes.
He yearned for his end, hoping no more to live. What was it that he had intended to give?
I had a sudden moment where I was like, oh yeah, I don't have arms anymore. Wait, no, I do, and there's an eye on it, and this is a statue with an eye socket. I was like, everything came together. You know, you had all the equations and the things. So yes, I have the I think I have the answer to it, which is on my hand. And there was a part of me that was like, hey, don't tell anyone because Finn's gonna come and take your arm away.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do now.
Okay.
It's a worthy concern. As Finn is sort of pondering this possibility, and Grytton, you are sort of stood before the statue, thinking like, is it my enunciation? Am I putting the emphasis in the wrong place? Is it open, open, open? What could it be? Behind you, you hear a sudden, dull thud. Thud. Thud.
I take the rat
Against
out of
front
the eye
doors of
socket.
Manor. And you can hear through the thick, heavy front gate doors a shrill voice outside, almost mockingly. Oh, bad. Oh, bad. working.
Look, perhaps they will have more luck than you.
Well, I'm not
The
going
rat is either deceased or entirely incapacitated by this point.
Hmm.
I put it back into my robes.
So it's the door we came from, right? That's
The
No,
main
the front
door,
door.
yes.
The
Yeah.
front
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
The front door.
Should we be getting that, or is that our job?
What are we, servants?
No. Well, kind of, but
I think I have an idea for the statue. I will go back to our people.
okay. Can I come?
I said we.
Okay, good. Yes.
You want to stay here? If you want to, you can get the door.
No. No.
It does seem like you want to.
Well, no.
Uh,
No, let's go. Let's start.
yeah,
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, the two of you head down the eastern hallway again. Make your way back to the feast hall, where the party is just as frolicking and frivolous and full of merriment as before. The axes are being hurled at targets on the wall. The vultures are pecking at various bits on the table. The band is in a full uproar, singing, dancing, merriment galore. It is effectively as you left it.
What is I'm imagining Sponge is still vigilant next to the prince. What is Buggum doing?
Buggum is slightly against the wall, kind of off to the side, still holding the hors d'oeuvre tray that he came out with, and just kind of very slightly wide-eyed looking at everything that's happening in this room currently.
Sponge is stood there exactly as you expected, but his eyes keep drifting over to the axe throwing.
Yeah, there does seem to be something of a game of sorts. The point system seems very straightforward. If you can lop the buzzard that's been nailed to the wall's head clean off, you win. And if not, the closer you get, the better. But
My lord!
yes, Sponge.
My lord, do you want me to go and play that game over there and get the buzzard's head?
I'll win you a prize.
I'll do win you a prize and stuff.
Yes, perhaps that is in order. Show your prowess, or rather, show my prowess through extension of you.
Yes, my lord. And then I take
Make
a
them
step
aware of your
towards it.
strength.
Take a step towards it. Panic for a second. Realize that I'm going to leave the prince by himself. Have a moment of just toing and froing, and then sort of try and pick up the prince's chair as with him on it and carry him over towards the.
Oh my.
I
Don't worry,
imagine
my
it
lord.
being an entire bench, and Sponge just unknowingly picks up the entire bench with everyone else on it as well.
Just making sure you're safe, my lord.
The prince does, in fact, have sort of an end table seat as opposed to the regular benches. So it's hefty, but it is pick upable. You carry him over to sort of the far end of the table where a group is gathered, hatchets in hand, sort of taking haphazard turns, lobbing them at this buzzard across the room.
Oh, it's amazing. Right, okay. Get out of my way. And just grab someone's face and push him out. Get out of my way. My turn. Pick up a couple, give them away.
Yeah, there's just sort of like a small pile of these hatchets, and you've seen basically everyone in this room has one either in hand or at side. Yeah, it's a fairly sturdy, sort of like, could be a throwing hatchet, could, be. It's a hatchet.
What? This is it. For you, my lord. for the power of my lord and his amazing existence. Yay!
All right. Go ahead and give me a presence test for your ranged attack.
Oh, God. 10.
You fling the axe, but in your flurry to say something exceptionally complimentary of the prince's incredibleness, you feel that perhaps your brain has sapped the strength from your muscles yet again, and robbed you of the perfect strike as the axe sort of thuds into the wall near one of the bird's wings.
I immediately punch myself in the skull and go, stupid fucking brain.
For everyone's benefit, I will not let you roll damage.
Knocks himself
Brain.
unconscious.
The whole room just.
The greatest threat to Sponge is Sponge. And the prince sort of, now, Sponge. Do not be damaging my property.
Oh, yeah, it's very true. It's all right there. You're okay. Soothing myself. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Don't worry. The prince loves you. Well, he loves himself and you are his.
Quite right. A number of the partygoers sort of laugh and chortle. That's not gonna cut it, lad. Gonna have to do better than that. Here, let me show you how it's done. And one of them lobs very nearly, sort of like grazing some of the hairs off of the gullet of the bird, coming razor close. You know that's how you throw a hatchet.
I immediately look to the prince and get a little bit jealous. And I'll throw. I would imagine I'll throw one more before whatever is about to occur actually occurs.
Yeah, before the prince even has a moment to do anything, let alone respond in favor or disparage, you take another action. You grab a hatchet.
But I'm not.
Firmly in hand.
I'm just throwing it as hard as I possibly can.
Oh god.
Absolutely, just full strength or lob it.
Yeah, I will allow a strength test if you would prefer, but the difficulty rating will be higher.
Oh, perfect. Even better. If
right.
it happens to go through someone's skull, perfect. There will be literally no aiming. He's just furious that he's almost embarrassed himself in front of the prince.
Go for it.
13. It doesn't hit, but it's something.
Oh man. Really did.
Yeah, you manage to full strength at the wall, and it bounces off the wall and ricochets, landing into the table itself, sort of boomeranging back. And everyone sort of laughs and chortles and claps you on the back. And the bird's fine, but it were a mighty good attempt.
Well, what can I say? I was aiming for the table.
Well, then a fine strike indeed. If I were a bit of furniture here, I'd mind myself.
Yeah, fucking table. Start squaring up to the table a little bit. Then notice that other people have come back in. I'm like, oh, right, okay, yeah, no. Prince, that's the important bit.
Yes. The prince at this point, it seems to, in a typical fashion, his sort of like attention for things tends to wander. His muses are fickle and short-lived. Sponge, I rather liked being at the head of the table. If you could bring me back, please.
Oh, yes, my lord, yes, my lord. Get out my way. Grab somebody else by the face and put. Okay, my lord, don't worry. Back to your rightful position.
Ah, marvelous. Appearances are everything, Sponge. One must never be too close to the poor.
I immediately take a step away from him and smooth out my hat a little bit.
Very good.
That's
Very
it. We're good.
It's around this point that Grutten and Svind re-enter through the feast hall doors.
And just muted.
You are muted.
I am. On
Just
purpose.
talk a bit the void.
On purpose, yeah. Alright, so we meet the hand of Bergen, specifically the eye that is on it.
Mm-hmm. You wish me to fetch him?
Yes.
Okay.
Buggin, what have you been doing during all this fricassee?
Oh, just standing with the platter I took out of the kitchen. It began very confused as to all of the craziness going on, and then it kind of became well, if I now move, I am carrying a tray of food, and also I'm a little bit conspicuous if I start moving and if I drop this tray. So I've just been standing there by the wall, hoping no one notices me.
Is Bugum the kind of person who would think, because of a lot of people come and take the appetizers, seem to enjoy them, he, at a certain point, thinks, well, everyone's enjoying it, it can't be that bad, right? Maybe I'll try it, and then,
Oh, I mean, yes, I'd say if people have been coming up to grab it, I would have definitely given one a go.
They certainly have. Yeah, you've been standing there, and occasionally a party guest will sort of lean back and over to grab something or walk by. Basically using you as a stationary food tray. Yeah, and if you are so inclined, there is plenty on the platter. If you were curious for a nibble. Looking down on it, it is rancid rat corpses and smushed up bugs and bits of vermin, sort of ground into various boiled pasty bits.
You know, honestly, with that description, I think actually I'd be well, no, I only have one hand, and technically speaking, it isn't mine anymore. I'll just hold and hope that people think I am some sort of servant. Which, technically speaking, I have been promoted and demoted to. So, and I will also say that, seeing as Grutten is currently moving towards me, I don't do what I thought Bugger was going to do, what I thought Svind was coming at him, which was back away slowly, whispering, no. But instead, kind of look over and... As Groton's coming forward, just be like, hors d'oeuvre?
No, Bugger, I have great news for you.
Oh! That... And kind of straighten up a little bit. That's really wonderful. I have been really worried. Have you found something important out?
Yes, we have, and the good news is you have a purpose.
Oh!
Mm-hmm. You are needed.
Oh!
Doesn't that feel good?
It's not a door, is it? Because you can open your own doors. I know the prince can't, but...
No, not a door. No. Far more important.
Okay.
Actually, it's so important I can't even explain it. You have to follow me.
Oh, yes. Well, it involves leaving this room, because... and I, start putting the tray down, kind of, sliding it off my arm, and then...
No, keep the tray.
Well, what I imagine happens is kind of slide it onto the table and then kind of spin back around to Grothan, and just the hand hasn't let go of the tray, so it just whoosh, and I still holding the tray.
Yeah, it's sort of gripped onto this large silver platter, just sort of flailing about.
Well, let's leave this room. Yes, this has been. Let's us leave the room. If we can leave this place, that would be wonderful. But
Yes, actually, Svind is coming as well.
Oh.
Let's go.
I would find it very funny if I would have left the room to be waiting at the statue so that when
yeah.
they come, Buckham just has a horrible vision of me standing there waiting.
Yeah. Sven just over by the door, like arms crossed, foot tapping impatiently.
Oh. Maybe this room isn't as bad as actually it's quite it's a lively party. Yes, yep, okay, yes, okay, yep, there we go. I'm taking this with me. And I follow them, trying desperately not to look at Svind, and I follow them out of the room. And I assume we go to the statue again?
Out of the room, away from the ruckus and noise,
Yes.
and over back towards the main entry hall. Everyone in the hall, please give me a presence test, if you please.
Maybe the person at the door did get its opens to work.
12.
A 7, sheesh.
I got a 2.
Actually, I'll use an omen on that. To re-roll. A 17.
Ooh.
17. Spinned briefly for a moment as you were walking down the hall towards the entryway again. Out the large windows towards the front courtyard. For but a moment, in a flash of the lightning of the storm outside, you think you spy sort of a feminine figure in a billowing white gown, lurching about the courtyard. But then just as soon as you see her, it disappears. The next flash of lightning, the thing is gone, nowhere to be seen.
As far as I'm concerned right now, this is not something that Svind would share because there might as well be another guest with a white dress. So
Certainly.
um,
You make your way back to the main entry hall and stand before the great statue. Now with sort of a little wet trail going from shoulder to face where the rat climbed.
It's a very, very nice statue.
hold out your hand, Buggum.
I hold out my right arm, the one without my hand on.
Just sort of reticently accepting your fate at this point.
No, it's the other hand, right?
Yeah, it's the one without the hand on.
The other one
Oh. Alright. This one?
with the plate of appetites.
It's still got like a...
Yeah.
Well, there's no food on it anymore. It's just a silver plate, basically.
Yeah.
There's only one eye on there, right? Okay.
It's technically now 2 hands like this, and then there's an eye, not nailed, but like kind of tied on top of it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the paper, Jeff.
Do you remember when you took the hand from the person upstairs? Was there only one eye or 2?
Well, the eye was from the old man in the basement. No, sorry, in the
Basement.
library.
Okay.
Yes. Yes? And then we snapped his legs, he died, he came back as a strange creature.
Did
we
that
didn't
man-
snap his leg.
No,
Thing.
none of us
We-
snapped his legs.
No.
Did that man only have one eye? I don't remember. Or did he have 2 eyes?
He only had one eye.
Okay,
He did
cool.
indeed have one eye
Okay,
and a bandage over the other.
then I don't have to worry about finding a second one. Right, well, we're going to try out something. You're going to put out your hand there, and we're going to chop off the eye to put it in the socket up there.
You could probably just take it. I mean, it is slightly nailed onto there, but
And rip it off.
well, I would, And I just show the stump of my other hand, and I'm like, I would do that, but, you know. It's,
You have teeth, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Do I have to repeat myself, Buggum?
No. I guess I'll just remove the nail and eyeball from my hands that are fused together with my teeth.
Yeah, you clamp your teeth down around the sharp metallic bite of the nail, feeling that like distinct sort of like clack of like a hard thing against your hard teeth, sending sort of a shiver through your bones. And then you pull straight out. The nail does give. The eyes sort of flopping there, and then I suppose you get to the task of wrapping your lips and teeth around this eye, still sort of like gently moving about with its glassy, milky blindness.
Could, if there is the little eye tail nerve end thing, could I just take that and so it's like dangling, kind of like chin area?
Certainly.
She'll look at Gruden.
Oh, yes, of course. Here. I'll take it out of your mouth.
Okay.
There. Should I try to place it there then? Because you said we could reach it from the top of the stairs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I'll just walk up. I'll try to place it in there.
All right. Yeah, you feel around the front of the face and locate one of the empty sockets. And
I'd like to add, when I do it, I also want to say, open!
Marvelous. You say open, and with sort of a satisfying little plop, you push the eye gently into the socket, and it's a lovely snug fit as it sort of pops in there. Yeah, you're sort of like your one hand leaned on the shoulder of the statue, your other sort of fishing around for the face. You don't hear anything, but you feel somewhere within some sort of like something click or shift into place.
Did anything happen down there?
Yes. You shouted open, and there was a click.
Did it open?
Did it open?
Sphinx behaves like one of those like dogs on a hunt, and like kind of crouches and like goes close to the statue, like sniffing it, like looking if anything happened to it.
Sven's smelling the statue's feet.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, you approach the statue inquisitively, sniffing and looking and utilizing all your many senses. And those of you in front of the statue see as the set of eyes that now is complete, the lids begin to shut closed.
I kind of assumed that Groten, after having done it, would kind of shout down and then like run down the stairs to kind of like see what had happened. So
yeah, so you all watch as the stony eyelids sort of like hood down.
That's the opposite.
Now one set of the three eyes is closed.
Oh, as you think we need more eyes?
Well, what's in the other socket?
I don't know. Do we need to put more eyes in there? Ooh, we got that from we got that from the old man. Yes. In the library. So there's another one. Do we go take his eye as well? We've done a lot to him. Is that fair?
He's not gonna need it, is he?
Probably not. I took one of his hands.
Was there only blood on the one eye socket or on multiple ones? Or was it not visible?
On each of the empty sockets, there was a bit of dried blood.
Yes, well, where I might have previously suggested that we do not tamper with the guests at this manor, perhaps we should.
Was there anything left of the butler? Or did Sponge completely crush him?
The butler didn't have a normal face.
Had lots of eyes.
Well, sort of two enormous, nearly basketball-sized eyes.
Do you think...
I would allow presence text from everyone.
You will allow it.
Allow it, yeah. Nice. 3!
Aha! 18.
5. I'll let Bug'em have it, actually.
Probably not.
Yeah, Bug'em, something you had pondered a moment ago, sort of like sits uneasily with you. You rack your mind, your thoughts like spinning wheels. It is torturous how close the answer feels.
Oh. I think I'm having an idea.
Do share.
I haven't had it yet.
Okay, come on, hurry up.
Well, I mean, if you rush me, I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to lose the thread. Oh, now I've lost the thread. I don't know what the idea was.
Useless.
I'm being legitimate. I have no idea what that was in regards to.
Yeah, you do recall that the torture victim upstairs had an intact eye darting around the room, avoiding your gaze.
Okay. Okay. And how many slots left are there? 2 or 1?
There are 2 empty eye sockets.
2 empty
eye sets that have not yet closed.
Okay.
Oh, I thought there were 3 pairs.
Yes, there are 3 pairs of eyes, and in each pair of eyes, 1 is an empty socket.
Okay, so wait, so we filled one of them, but then there's 2 empty ones left, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. And the torture victim only had 1 eye still left?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So, clearly, we need to go collect the eye from the man on the wheel. And then there's another one we need to find.
I'm sure Sponge could help us out with that, no?
I mean, Sponge could find a lot of eyes. Are we sure that we need just eyes? Or maybe it's the servants of the, they're keeping them for safekeeping, or their keys, or mystical, magical doodads?
I doubt it's very picky, it's a statue.
The person upstairs in the library said that he wanted to die, right?
The one in the library, yes.
I'm sure that the tortured person upstairs would also wish to die.
That's a bit of an assumption, but I'm willing to go with it. Do we need to kill him to take his eye? Can't we just take his eye?
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
I feel like he's likely bled out by now, no?
I mean, we didn't really know, because Sponge cauterized his arm.
That's right. Took a torch right to it.
There you go. Perfectly fine. We could maybe go and take the eye, and then offer him death if he does want to die. And Sven, you enjoy that type of thing. You can do that.
Enjoy killing.
No. Yes. Yes?
Why would I?
Right. No, of course not. Take a toe or something.
Purely business.
Well, tell you what. We don't know where the other eye is, but we know there's an eye up there. We can test the theory. Like, as far as I'm concerned, at the very least, it's plausible. Right, Groton?
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in trying, no?
There we go.
I suggest we fetch the eye, try it, and work from there.
Yeah, wonderful. And I feel like we both look at Svind like, is that okay?
Maybe.
Can we?
Can we have a hall pass?
Svind is staring at the statue.
Right. Would you like to go looking for the other eye, perhaps?
Is that an invitation to Groton to go upstairs, or is that directed at Svind?
Asking Svind if she'd like to... basically saying, like, hey, if you want to go somewhere else, like, look for an eye, not come with us, that would be fine, but I'm not suggesting it.
Perhaps we need Sponge.
Is he going to leave the prince? It's kind of... I don't want to say married to him, but,
Although perhaps we to leave the prince unprotected or not.
I mean...
He does seem to be having a merry good time.
I know we haven't really mentioned this so far, but he kind of did leave the prince to die at one point anyway, right? So maybe he's willing to do it.
Silence, you do not get to say those words.
Okay.
You have absolutely no right. Perhaps we should take one of your eyes, although I think sadly it won't work. Otherwise I would try. Although I can still try.
No, but we have to go get the eye from the man on the wheel. You know.
Suddenly the torture chamber sounds ever so tempting, warm, and inviting.
Yes. Why don't you go and see if Sponge wants to come with us, or, you know, whatever you want to do. However, I think we should test the theory of the eye in the torture room. Shall we?
Why haven't you left yet?
Okay, I'm leaving. And I immediately...
As you sort of about face and make your way swiftly up the stairs, you realize that you feel, you know that if things were normal right now, you would be sweating about as much as it is raining outside. But for whatever reason, the pores do nothing. You are bone dry, but you feel as though you should and you would.
I mean, this last hour or so, I've had a really bad feeling. And I head up the stairs, even before Svind manages to finish, why haven't you left yet?
And I follow along up there.
All right. The two of you make your way up the stairs. It is relatively quiet. The skeleton guard is nowhere to be seen. There's sort of a puddle forming over by the window on the other side where they had jumped through to their escape. You make your way to the torture chamber unaccosted. They're in the... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say to Groton, like, so... I don't want to put this all on you, Groton, but I don't have any hands, really. None that really work properly. So, I feel like I will back you up, and you can go and let this man know that we're going to take his eye. And...
How will you back me up?
I will be behind you, behind your back.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great.
So, please, feel free. Obviously, you have a better bedside manner than I do, so I think it's a, you know... You've got this.
Because we're not in the room yet, right? We haven't. entered the
Yeah,
room.
I'd say we probably just before we went in.
Yeah, maybe the collapsed room just before the torture chamber.
Yeah.
Would there be any sort of knife or anything in my medicine box? Does that exist?
There's likely, yeah, some sort of like small razor or something to that effect.
You do also know that I have a saw. I have a little toolbox with like a hand saw in it.
Yeah.
This is why you're not the medical professional, Bugum.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Before we enter, then I will just make sure that I like take it out and hold it as we go in.
Okay.
All right. The two of you press through the double doors into the ruined bedchamber, now torture chamber. And there, just as you left them, is the torture victim with their charred, flayed skin pinned to the pain wheel before you. Their head sort of lulled down, their one arm still sort of searing and smoking from the cauterized wound.
Very well. Hello there, unfortunate peasant. Are you alive?
It's a good start.
The head sort of like lulls gently from side to side, and you hear a faint sort of.
Good, good. Stay with me now. I'll place my hand just on his shoulder as he's there for comfort.
It's very tacky and yet also crispy.
Oh.
Bits of it sort of like flake off immediately as you place your hand there. As the combination of both like charred skin and infected blisters sort of like rubs off on your hand.
Do you have a favorite eye?
I think he only has one.
The face sort of lifts up to you gently, and what remains of it. And you see that there is but the one eye sort of darting furiously in all directions with manic speed, and the other is just a series of clots and bruises.
Never mind. Sorry, shouldn't have asked.
Free me! You must free me!
Yes, we will. Bugum, could you hold his head?
Yes.
Hold it back.
Yes. Well, I mean, my hand just, and I gotta put my arm/hand, Jeff, on his head, which then starts just like ruffling his hair, and
Still.
I really have no control over this thing. If you want someone to hold something, then someone else is going to do a much better. You know what? I can use my stump. It's a stump. Yes, stump.
Yeah, just hold it still. Thank you. Okay, there we are. And I'm just gonna try to surgically remove the eyeball out of his eye lock lid thing.
Sure. How clean are you trying to make this? Are we going for like marvelous surgeon-like precision, or just get it out?
For him or for the eye?
No, I would think he would still take pride and try to do it nicely, even though we don't really need it nicely. But like he's been good at his job. He's gonna do it.
I would allow a presence or agility test to assert your finesse here.
Okay.
Oh!
18, baby.
Clean as can be. You may not be a seasoned battle veteran, but when it comes to wielding the surgeon's blade, there are few better. The sinews give way, the muscle tissues bend to your whim, the synapses in the back of the eye are plucked like the string of a harp, and just like that, you hold in the palm of your hand a marvelous, wet, juicy eye, fully intact, all things considered.
There we are. That wasn't so bad, was it, peasant?
And yet I have a piece of wood on my hand and arm.
The torture victim's teeth are sort of like chattering in pain, and they just ceaselessly now whisper hoarsely through their throat, just help, release, help, Release!
Oh, actually, sorry, probably a bad time, but do you know the man in the library closet?
Release. You must.
Okay,
Please.
I'll tell you what. I have a couple more questions. If you answer them, I will release you.
Yes. Releasing.
Yes, yes. Do you know the man? Groton, do you remember his name?
I don't know if he ever told us.
Oh,
Yes, we know him. We know him. He is known.
Oh, yes. So, is there
Now
any?
release.
Well, no. I said a couple of questions. That was just one. Now, Mister
Peasant.
Hurry Pants. Now, are there any more of you in similar states? You, the man in the library. Is there anyone else?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Right.
And they'll sort of like nod their bleeding, pustulous face. Are you still holding their forehead?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, they attempt to nod as best they can, and oh yes, many, so many.
That doesn't sound true. Are you
releasing?
No. Now you're lying to me because you want me to release you. You're just telling me what I want to hear.
No.
Yes, yes you are. I can tell because there aren't lots of people all dotted around this. I've been in most of the rooms in this place.
We have never seen a lie.
Oh, that doesn't mean it. Well, I don't even know what that means.
Releasing and tell. We'll share.
No. Tell and then release.
Bugger,
Yes,
this is gonna dry
releasing.
up really quickly.
Well, then go take it to the statue and put
Very
it in the
well.
eye socket,
Fine, I'll
and then
leave.
come back. I'm trying. I'm
Just
sorry.
hurry it up.
No, right? Yes. Okay.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
okay.
He's very rude. Now, tell me. Look, I'm trying to find another eye. Okay. Like we have yours. We have the guy down in the library. And I've got his eye. Now, where is the other eye?
Can I briefly interject here just because I think it's fitting?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not there in the room,
Mm.
but at this moment, Svind is still standing staring at the statue, and in her mind, and kind of slowly muttering, she's thinking like, if she will cut out her own eye, if that's what's needed here, if they do this, if they play into the Lord's hands or not, that's happening downstairs right now. So
Okay.
that's just why I wanted to interject
Right,
it
just
here.
that-
But I'm curious for the answer of the guy.
A short
Yeah,
little kind of like
Finn's
slide
sort
cut.
of like glancing down ponderously at your cleaver. Maybe.
Poking her
Fascinating.
eye.
Delightful. Yeah, the torture victim sort of like writhes, hisses, and promises you empty anything. They say they know where chests of eyes are and where fields of them grow. They can pluck them from the sky for you.
That's not
They
true.
will
Even
give you all the eyes in the world, but you must release them. They
see,
beg, they plead, they say anything and everything, hoping to be set free.
this is really unhelpful. I really wanted to release you as well. I felt bad about the eye thing. I'm not gonna lie. This is something that's going through, and I imagine Buggum got the best look at this as well. So it's just something I'm gonna have to ask, but it's something running through Buggum's head. When he died, when he was chomped to death by the bear rug, did the bear rug have an eye in it?
They say walls can talk, and perhaps beds can scream, but carpets keep watch with eyes glassy and keen.
You bastard. Oh. It's in the rug, isn't it? Well, that's just... I don't want to go back to the rug. Now, stop whispering and pleading for a second, please. Tell me, it's just you and me here now. I know you can't see that, but that is what it currently is. Is there a way out of here that... No, you know what? Even better than that, what happens when we put all the eyes in the statue?
He spouts madness. He says that 10 songs will be sung, and the notes will each be a dream. And in the dream, you will find 10,000 rats, and each of them will have a hammer, and they will nail in the nails that will secure the moving countries of the world. It's incoherent,
okay.
like madman rambling.
Well, I really wanted to like you. You know that. But honestly, at this point, the crushed butler in the foyer, in the lounge room, and the dead, broken-legged man in the library are more useful than you. So I'm just gonna leave you here, because honestly, I don't have to put up with this. I have to go fight a rug again, and maybe die to it again.
What is Groden's impression?
No,
Watching this, like.
No, I had left when the
Yeah. Although,
when I complained.
Okay.
If you wanted, I think the perfect time for you to reappear after having put the eye in and to come back is as I'm saying, I have to go fight a bear rug. I'm so I have to go fight a bear rug now apparently, and possibly die to it again. And that's when you step in and hear the.
I think the sort of oh, you're still in here. You're still talking to this guy.
Yeah.
In the interim, so Gretton, you leave as clearly one madman is having a pointless conversation with another.
How dare you?
Wet, juicy, moist, in hand, freshly carved out from the victim's face.
Yes. We got another eyeball.
It holds it up for Spin to see.
Yeah. See? We did it. You're whispering very quietly. Can't hear you. I'm up here.
Yes, that is why you went there.
All right. Well, I shall put it in there. Do you want the bottom or middle row?
Anywhere is fine. Good. And
very good. Middle row it is. Open.
He's gonna be so happy when we do the third one and it opens.
I imagine that Gruten does have he's the most valuable person in the group in Sven's opinion, but even in moments like this, Sven is like, my god, I'm surrounded by idiots.
For what it's worth, someday the void will claim you all.
Yeah. I'm on the installment plan.
You holler open with bounding resolve and pop the eye in there again with just the most sort of tactile, satisfying squish and pop as it plops into the empty socket. And once again, after a few moments, the eyes of the set sort of begin to close and shut. And again, you feel something within the statue sort of move and shift and click into place.
One more to go, I guess.
I do not know if we... I need clarity. What if they count on us filling this in and opening it up or whatever it is? What if that thing we saw before that led us here, that promised great things, knew all of this would happen? And what if we were sent here for this exact reason?
You think we were tricked to come here?
I'm not thinking clearly. I can't see.
All right, well, maybe I can give you a moment and go get Buggum. Okay.
Sven seems like very morose, very like deep in thought. And yeah, Grutin, after a moment of just sort of, oh no, oh she's in pondering mode. Yeah, you sort of turn from the banister and make your way back to the torture chamber, where Buggum appears to be wrapping up some sort of spirited back and forth debate with the torture victim. Just as conversationally effective as ever, which is to say, hardly at all.
How dare you? As
yeah, you come in and there's some mention of a bear.
Yeah, Groton, as you walk in, you basically hear Buggum like exasperately going, and now I have to fight a bear rug and possibly die to it too.
Buggum, are you still not done?
Groton, hey, I am. Yes, I am done. This person was unhelpful past the eye, unfortunately.
He was just about to free me.
I was not. Do not lie.
Yeah, Buggum, here, just give him this. I'll give him a vial of the red poison.
Oh.
Red.
I'm really
there.
not okay.
Just free him.
Alright, well, and I go over and I mean, this is corked, and I only have one, and I can't control.
Right.
You offer Jeff the bottle. Jeff seems fascinated by this silver platter. It's got like a really nice handle on it, and
yeah.
Jeff seems to like really like just clenching death grip onto it. But
he's a grasper.
Yeah, give me a presence test to sort of coax the bottle into Jeff's hands.
Okay, god damn it, Jeff. Why are you making me roll? Oh, I have control.
20.
Yeah, for a moment, you seamlessly, of your own will and volition, release the platter. It clangs to the ground. You take grasp of the bottle. Yeah, you even have the dexterity to sort of like pop the cork with one thumb. And for a moment, it's yours.
Oh, hey, look at that. And as I back over, I'm like, Gluten, I have complete control of my hand for a second. And I like move, like tip the vial over towards his mouth, and at the same time, oh.
Yeah, I would. It's take as a fucking alarm, like, come on.
And then,
yeah, the strange charred figure sort of balks at the offering, but you sort of just pour it down into their gullet and over their face, and they sort of.
What was this? Another one of those like hallucinatory potions or something?
The figure begins projectile vomiting black ooze.
It doesn't look
everywhere.
Loudly.
Convulsing on the pinwheel.
Okay. And I start like, jumping over bits and pieces and heading towards the door, like kind of bundle out with Groten. I'm like, I don't think that was hallucinatory.
No.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just have to throw this bottle away. Do you want the bottle? It's not letting go again, so I guess now I'm grasping up. Oh. Okay.
We must hurry. Swinder's having thinking pains.
shall we tally this as Grothin's first kill?
I think we have to give it to Bug'em, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a kill count.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
I was the one.
Hands are still clean.
I was
baby.
the one who fed him, so like I kind of feel like it's on me.
Marvelous.
And then we get back out to the statue. And
Yeah. You are now
Just leaving him.
all,
We just hear him
in the
puke as we're leaving.
Yeah, it is. That whole man's insides are becoming his outsides. And the puking is violent and short-lived, stopping briefly as you close the door and walk away. You can hear it sort of terminate in a soft gurgle.
you know, I'm not sure how necessary that was.
You wouldn't stop talking to him.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel okay. Clearly my fault, of course. Sven. Okay. She alright?
What is it?
I think I know where the final eye is, but you're not gonna like it.
Great, go get it.
Really don't want to.
Why did you say it then, Bug'em?
Well, because it's in the bear. Remember?
You need to think before you say such things, because right now, well, you're the one who's already dead among us, so I don't see the harm in you going to get it.
I do think we would be more successful if we got someone more capable than Bug'em to deal with it.
I object to the classification there. However, I do agree partially in that what will happen if I go to collect the eye is there will be a rug wrapped around me, and you will still not have the eye. I feel like there's only one person we can rely on in this situation, and unfortunately, he is not with us currently. He is most probably eating dead rats.
I want to know what
Bug'em,
Sponge is doing in this time.
Bug'em, give me a presence test.
Righty-roo. Presents. It's the 6 this time.
All right.
So, how about we go and get our intrepid, brave companion who is very, very susceptible to suggestion.
I will go be on Prince watching duty.
Yep.
All right. So, Sven, do you make your way to the feast hall?
Yeah,
I could watch him.
All right.
I go back and unless you will interject with something, or first we can ask if Sponge was doing anything.
He's eating dead rats,
As I
I'm
enter,
guessing.
eating a rat, eating multiple rats on a stick, having an eating contest, being like, no, I can eat more rats than you.
Pretty accurate, to be honest with you. Like, I'm just like, what's it? You're all eating these things. All right, yeah, no worries. Well, they don't. Yeah, it looks like just like my mum used to make. And just eating these old entrails of God knows what. Yeah, well, it takes me back. Yeah, no, that bit was a bit rotten.
Yeah. There's a lot of eating around the bad bits, and most of it is the bad bits.
Yeah. Oh, I love this bit. Oh, that's great. Like getting the tiny little fucking marrow from their little rat spine or whatever. No, it's great. Oh, remember this bit? Look, my lord, this bit's real good, right? You ready? Put it up my nose and just like shoot it out like a pea or whatever the kids did. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm very good at the aiming with that, you see.
It is amusing to see what entertainment passes forward among your sort of folk, Sponge.
Oh yes, my lord. Well, you know, I just thought maybe you'd find it funny.
Yes, well, I suppose just to get up and all, do it again, but this time whilst dancing.
Oh yeah, sure. And I would imagine he's probably the clumsiest dancer. Like, not even 2 left feet, 2 half feet, just absolutely just clomping around, jumping around, completely off rhythm, off key. Gets on a stool and falls through it. Tries to blow one out of his nose, but accidentally snorts it up and just God.
Flails around, forgets he's holding a flail, brains someone, and
Accurate, yeah, exactly, 100%. All fingers and toes.
Phenomenal. Yeah, Svind arrives back at the feast hall to see that there is effectively sort of like a large conga line happening, Sponge somewhere near the front of it, the prince sort of giddily clapping along, and the festivities carry on raucous as ever.
She goes to stand next to the prince's chair, who's like clapping for the conga line. She just like passively stands there watching the conga line, and I think she would like wait until it like something happens that makes it that it stops, because clearly the prince is enjoying this, so she won't just like get Sponge out of there. So for a second she stands there with the prince just watching this conga line, until either until the conga line stops, or until Sponge comes like close enough to like make eye contact.
Yeah, the line is sort of like circling and serpentining around the room, and at some point Sponge is sort of like within shouting distance.
Yeah. Then she'll say, Sponge,
Oh yeah, you're right, Swind. Hello.
come over here for a second.
All right, yeah. I keep conga
Without
lining
the
over.
conga
Sponge.
line, Sponge.
Oh, it's all right. It's not a problem. I take the guy's hands from my hips and just stick them on somebody else's. Go on, off you go. Leisurely slap on the butt.
Yeah, some like dust off of them as you slap them on the butt, and some shards of fingers are left in your hands as you're like placing the conga line elsewhere.
Oh, it's a nasty habit they got there. What's up, Swind?
You, for all of our sakes, need to go outside into the hallway and join Grützen and Bug'em. I will be staying with the prince for this moment. Do you understand?
Yes. Yeah, no, that's all. So long as you're with the prince, so long as you're not left alone. I mean, this lot here, they're just...
Outside, Grützen and Bug'em.
Okay, no worries. My lord, I'm afraid I have to leave you. Important royal peasant business. So don't worry, Svind is here to look after you and make sure that you can do all of the things. She's also much better at dancing than I am.
My lord, I will be keeping you company.
Ah, marvelous. Yes, Svind, are you aware? They're practically giving these out. And he leans across the table and picks up a hatchet. All over the place, these. I've got 2 of them on me already. Here, have one.
You are ever so gracious, prince. She just like reaches out with a spindly hand and takes it.
Marvelous. Yeah, and the prince sort of resumes, lolling back and forth, drink in hand, chunk of rancid carcass meat in the other, fully engrossed in the joys of the festivities. As Sponge makes his way down the hall.
All right, okay. Apparently, you need someone like me.
Yes. And then Bug'em looks at Glutton, like for confirmation.
Yes. Yeah, Bug'em had a dumb idea, and it requires your expertise.
All right, okay. What do you need?
Do you remember the room with the rug? Sorry, that's confusing. Do you remember the room where you shit yourself?
Oh, yeah. Now I remember that one, yeah.
We need to go back there and take the eye from the bear rug.
What, that glass ball thing?
What glass ball thing?
The glass ball thing?
The eye in the bear eye head rug.
Yeah, wasn't it made of glass?
I didn't know it there. Yes.
Am I
Is Fun
remembering
referring
right?
to the Fabergé egg in the library?
And I was referring to I thought it was like taxidermy eyes where they're actually made of glass.
Oh, yeah, that did seem to be your impression.
Sorry, say that again.
That did seem to be your impression
Oh, yeah.
before it leapt up and tried to kill you all.
Oh right, yeah. I thought they were made of the old marble stone thing.
Then they should be easy to retrieve.
All right, yeah, no worries. That's all right. Hold on a minute. Right, okay, hold on. It was very angry.
Took my arm. Wait, surely at this point, my arm is still in the bear's mouth. So at the very least, it can't bite.
Well, parts of your arm, sure.
I mean, it's better than nothing, right?
You're presuming that parts of your arm will block the sharpness of the teeth.
I'm not really presuming, I'm more hoping, but yeah.
If we just give it more arms, eventually that will de-arm the bear.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm just gonna take a moment. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fair. I light a torch. Now I'm ready.
What? Okay. Shall we?
It's made of fur.
Oh, actually, that's surprisingly smart. Yes. No. Yes. Okay. Lead the way.
Nailing it down didn't work, and then I thought, what else is going to work to be able to get an eyeball? And if the eyeball's made out of stuff that isn't fiery and whatever, then this should do it.
Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best.
I'm a little worried that we didn't think about that, Croton.
Well, I'm far too smart to think of such a simple solution.
Ah,
Yeah, Bookham, he's too smart.
thank you, Sponge. Clearly I'm somewhere in between. Okay, well, shall we, go then?
Doorman?
Oh, yeah. Okay. And I will lead the way to up the stairs, around.
Yes, up the stairs, over to the left.
I will nod at the
across
skeleton if he's there.
Oh, long gone. He's,
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's outside, stuck in the bramble of the gate.
Oh yeah, of course I remember the story. Sven, fucking okay.
Yeah, actually, as you were sort of next to the open, shattered window, Buggum, go ahead and give me a presence test.
I mean, I doubt it's going to get any better this time, but well, it got worse this time. I rolled a 2.
Okay. Yeah, you step over the broken chandelier, and the barricaded bits of the door, and beyond you can hear the still furious, like, roaring and scraping of that creature just past the doors, as unrelenting as when you left.
It doesn't sound like he's calmed down.
No, sounds very, very angry.
Well,
I think that's because you taste horrible, Bookham.
feel it's a little
Clean.
Is there such a thing as too clean?
Yeah, where do you think you get the flavour from?
Unseasoned.
In my defense, Sponge, I was not planning on feeding a bear rug.
Well, I wouldn't want to eat you.
Wonderful. I'll get the door then, shall I?
Yes, but before we assume here that it is still stuck to the floor.
I think it got up. I think it tore through the old nails and stuff.
I think it did, yes.
Then I suggest we devise a plan on how to deal with this once the door is open.
Over to you then, Groton.
All right, well, how about I will open the door.
I
Bugum.
feel like that's my job, but...
Well, this is my plan now, Bugum.
Okay.
I open the door. Bugum enters, wrestles down the bear. And then Sponge will go in, cleave off the head, and then take it out. And I close the door.
You know, I'm starting to think that maybe Sponge should be in charge of the plans.
Okay, Sponge, what's your great idea?
Open the door, hit it.
Who's doing those two?
Doing what?
Yeah, who's doing what, Sponge?
Oh,
Layers of complexity start to unfold in fractal patterns in Sponge's mind.
The letters are back. The letters are coming back.
Yeah. you see flashes of like the
words. They're coming. Come to get me.
various arrangements of like football teams preparing to line up and take charge and
Don't know. Are we stood outside the door?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sponge just charges at the door. He gets so confused, he just charges at the door.
Sponge!
Oh god! Oh.
oh shit.
marvelous. Give me a strength test.
15.
Oh god damn it.
Yeah, you bash through the door into the interior space leading towards the bedroom, where the bear has already munched through most of the rest of the other door, and the two of you are now sort of face to face. It with claws and fangs ready. You having sort of burst through with torch in hand.
Oh.
I don't think I stop. I think the whole thing is me. I just run at the door, and whatever the door comes with me, I don't know whether it breaks on the frame or whether the door itself shatters, but I just battering ram it straight through.
Full charge. Okay.
Could we addendum this very slightly, because technically I was in front going to open the door when we stopped to discuss. I feel like it only makes sense that I get swept up in the charge and also go through the door with Sponge.
As you wish. I will never say no
the
to
doorway,
a
and I just get so confused.
Yeah, he just charged, and I'm like, ah! And then just kind of like get swept up in the shoulder barge and like smashing door.
Incredible. Wow. What do we even do there? You know what? I am going to say, go ahead and roll a d4 and add your strength modifier.
Okay.
Not you, Bugger.
Oh, okay.
Not you, Bugum.
You are added mass.
3. I rolled a 1 on the d4, and then plus my 2 strength modifier. Ah!
All right. 3 it is. Yeah, you careen through, bringing Bugum with you. Splinters of wood shatter all over the place in an explosion of door pieces as you run through, charge through one door, through the other, into the bear, and against the far side of the bedroom wall, sort of smashing all these things into one. As the bear sort of like splats up against the wall, the rug sort of in pain. Definitely with like a resounding thud, like cracks in the exterior bedroom wall form as you sort of like impact crater into it.
Amazing.
We are now in initiative.
Now an initiative. Okay. Who? Oh, Svind isn't here, so who's got the best presents?
Oh no, I have 0.
That's probably the best present.
But let's not rule out the bear.
I'm saying, Sponge, you may pass off as you wish,
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
having seized the initiative.
Having seized the initiative, in which case I'll hand over. Do you know what? I would imagine that I probably stunned Buggum straight off, so I'm going to hand over to Groton, who's been like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Look, let's hand off to Groton. He can stand in the doorway and observe while we struggle and try to grab this fucking eye.
I wish there was some sort of board where I could just be like, go get him!
I mean, you can still do that.
Yeah. Just so I, so first off, I will definitely, as soon as that happens, like just kind of running after, like, no, Sponge! And look through, what is it like I see here? Like the aftermath is, where is everyone right now?
I imagine you see the wear rug sort of splatted against the wall opposite the door. Buggum probably slumped on the wall to the left, and Sponge kind of like standing there in the open room, recuperating.
Okay. I know the poison didn't work last time. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna poke in my head. You got this! You got this, Sponge!
Thanks, Groton!
You as well, Buggum! That would be me dealing it to Bugger.
Yeah. Okay, so, display the... So, I'm going to stand up, look around at the rug. Do I see eyes?
Yeah, you see that it has two sort of like gleaming glass eyes sparkling at you.
Oh. Shit. I'm gonna swing back around to the door and say, he has two eyes!
Okay, grab one of them.
Alright. And without even thinking, because I'm dazed and confused and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, I reach out towards the bear's face with my hand. For one remaining Jeff. I'm not saying I'm taking the eye, because I fully realize he might just bite my hand off. It's not my hand anymore anyway, fuck it, I don't care. Screw Jeff.
Go ahead and make a melee attack.
Okay. How do I do that?
Strength roll.
Strength. Oh, that's good. Although I rolled a 20. Well, with minus 1, 19.
Oh.
You almost in a panic, sort of like on guard, not sure what to do. Grutten hollers out, grab the eye! And you sort of like, all right, and you plunge what still feels very much like your hand and sort of rejuvenated dexterity. You reach out into the unknown towards the fangs and the teeth and the gnashing maw. And you feel amidst like the bits of clumped, crusty fur, that smooth, cool glass around your fingers, and you curl them around, and you get behind them, and you sort of twist and pluck, and you can feel it in your hand. You feel the sensation of the sort of half-sphere glass eye, now firmly in palm, as you reach out, pluck, and yoink.
I've got it!
Great. Okay. I realize now we don't have a door anymore.
Right. And also, we still have a bear. And that will be me passing the turn over to the bear.
The bear's gonna get 2 goes now as well. This is the worst.
Yeah. I'm so screwed.
Oh. So it is. So it is. Marvelous. It is going to turn its other eye, now sort of like pointing in Sponge's direction. It'll sort of affix and turn its lumbering frame towards Sponge and lunge, teeth at the ready. Sponge, please make an agility test to defend yourself.
Got this, Sponge. You're a big boy.
Okay, I've got my shield, so that's always good.
You're a big,
I was ready with shield and thingy. I just ran through the door.
big, strong boy.
Oh, defense. Oh yeah, defense does that weird initiative thing. So roll d20. Oh god, I'm gonna use my omen.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one otherwise. Yeah.
I'm gonna use my omen to re-roll that because that was atrocious. 14. That'll do.
That will do. Yeah, you raise up your shield, and the claws and teeth sort of like pierce into it, scratching at the wood and fibers, and you manage to sort of like take the brunt of it and suffer no harm.
God! Why did we do this again?
Seeing that you are sort of a tough nut to crack, the bear will then sort of swivel its head over its shoulder back towards Buggum. Bits of your arm still sort of like dangling from its maw. It remembers the taste. It hungers again for the flesh, and it strikes out at Buggum.
Ah,
Roll to
shit.
defend.
That's my finger. $15.
You manage to sort of sidestep out of the way as this thing like lunges into the corner of the room, and now with a bit more like wits about you and room to maneuver, you step out of the way as it thuds aggressively into the wall, howling and screaming. And the bear will pass the initiative to Bugger.
Okay, question. What happened to the torch?
I'm still holding it.
So you're not holding the flail, you're holding the torch.
Oh yeah. It's torch and shield at this point.
Okay, in that case...
It's like torch, shield, bits of bear limb, you, door, rest of bear.
Okay. In that case, Sponge, hold it off and run. And I'm gonna run away.
Marvelous.
And as
how far do you figure you run? Like to Groton, past Groton, like leap over the banister into the main hall?
so, I'm going to run to Groton, past Groton. As I run past Groton, I say, "Quick, to the statue!" And try and like. I'm assuming he follows me. In you know what? Actually, I'm gonna stop at Groton and try and drop the eye in his hand because if I can't make the hand let go, take this to the statue.
Fine. Yes, good job somehow.
And I'm going to pass my initiative to Groton.
Marvelous.
This is totally not going to work. This is a glass eye.
I know. I'm very aware of this, but it's the best we've got.
Amazing.
Griffin, you now in the palm of your hand have this sort of like immaculate, very lovingly designed half sphere of a glass eye. Very spherical on one side and perfectly flush and flat on the other, with a bit of like adhesive and twine coming off of it. Now frayed. Initiative is yours. What do you do?
So what I'm holding is it's essentially a half eye. Like one of the sides you said is just like straight, and then the other is bulge.
Yes.
Is that what you said? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sponge, we might need the other eye, I think. You okay in there?
It's fun.
You see, I can see him, right? It's not like it's like a doorway and then a
Yeah,
room,
no,
like,
you're like
boom,
on,
yeah.
You can maybe see like the flicker of his torch and maybe a bit of his shield, but it does sort of like curve around a corner through the hall, so you don't have like a direct line of sight to Sponge.
Sponge, I feel like you might want to use that torch, or this whole party is ruined.
We're having a party.
Yes, we were. And we shall go back once you defeat this beast.
Okay, no worries. For the
Thank you.
prince. Jab it with my torch.
Sure. Go ahead and make a melee attack.
You don't get.
I'll roll the flail and we can do damage separately, I suppose. Oh, attack 21.
Oh.
Ooh. So are you using the flail or the torch?
I'm using the torch. I just wanted the melee attack using the flail,
Oh, sure. Gotcha.
just because it's that way.
Yeah.
It's easier to on the character sheet that way.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah, you strike out. The bear sort of like its back turned, having lunged at Buggum. Its furry side. It's like one side is very like leathery and coarse, and its other is very furry and patchy. And its fur exposed, you like plunge the torch into it, and it begins to erupt in fire. Roll me a d4.
It's gonna have to burn very
2.
quickly for Sponge not to get attacked by a burning bear.
God.
I feel like yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like just because of Sponge's just automatic natural combat capabilities, the sort of the little stuff just twists in his or hits in his brain that he doesn't even think about. So
Yeah.
like because it's like a he's jabbing as if it was like a dagger or what have you. He jabs and twists. You know, like they do with daggers, it's like to open the wound and make it bleed more and what have you. So it's like he jabs into it, it gives because it's a rug, and it just twists around, so it sort of knocks itself into the fur and the rug itself. But not
Marvelous.
because he's intelligent, just purely out of instinct. He's fuck yeah.
Just wrenching it in there. Yes.
Yeah.
Get shivved.
And yeah, sparks and embers begin to fly as the fur definitively catches alight.
Amazing. I feel like at that point I start backing towards the door, pulling out my flail and just like shield up. Defensive position because I know that I'm aware of the fact there's no way to stop the rug from coming after us. So it's literally a case of now it's now or never.
Now Sponge is the door.
Sponge is the door.
Marvelous.
Um,
Who next?
Yeah, I feel
I think it has to be.
Okay, yeah, no, we'll do it with that. Everyone's gone apart from the bear again, haven't we? So the bear, it has to be the bear.
Oh, the bear made itself go twice. So it's a fresh
right,
round.
okay, yeah. So in which case, me again.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like I'll as it's sort of reeling in it all, I'll just take a moment to stop, take a moment, aim, and then just clobber it on the head. Because I realize that I've still got to get the eye out of it. So I'm just like, right, if I pin its head to the floor, I'll be able to get the eye real easily.
Marvelous. Go ahead and make that attack.
I swear, if you smash this eye, I'm gonna be so upset with you.
Oh no, I fumbled it!
Why did I say that? I'm so sorry.
Oh no!
And I don't have any omens left. Shit.
Do you want an omen? Because I sure as hell is not. I'm not gonna use mine. I have one.
Yeah, if you have one available, you're willing to give
Yes,
me.
yes, please.
Oh,
we need
100%.
this to work.
21.
Okay.
Thank you, Grutton.
Incredible.
21.
Go ahead and roll damage.
The damage was pre-rolled, so 7 damage.
7 damage. Incredible. My goodness. Yeah, you strike out and flail, sort of like pinning it against the wall for a moment, and then dragging the whole thing towards you, as like rips and tears and splinters of wood and fur and leather go all over the place, and sort of sparking little embers throughout the room. And you just sort of like create this massive gnash through the center of the wereskin rug, and it hollers in this sort of like strange ethereal growl, clearly in tatters and agony and a light still. Marvelous. Anything else, Sponge?
I feel like the only thing that the sponge calls back to Grun and goes, Grun, how'd you remove an eye with a flail? And then I'll hand it over to the bear so the bear doesn't get to the rug so the rug doesn't get 2 goes again.
All right.
You don't.
The bear at this time, having only the one real target and serious threat in front of it, lunges with all its might towards Sponge, trying just to sort of keep intact and keep any sort of like locomotion that it can muster. Now sort of like a spiraling flurry of like ribbons and tattered strips of fur and claw. Roll to defend.
13. I don't know whether the shield helps.
You can sacrifice the shield to negate an attack. Otherwise, the shield constantly soaks up 1 damage.
Oh no, I was about to say yeah, and I'll just do it because I've got medium armor which soaks up 2 as well, doesn't it? So yeah, no, I'll just absorb
it. Soaks up D2.
A D2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. So once the damage has been dealt, I then roll a D2, negate that, and then negate 1 for the shield. Is that the way it works? Amazing. Cool.
And it's negligible anyway. The bear sort of like scrapes at you, dealing 2 damage. But because you are so heavily armored, and it is so like in tatters, it has a difficult time finding any purchase. There is not much of it left to sort of move.
Oh God! Oh, you're a big boy.
And you can see that the embers begin to sort of spread, and now there is very little of the rug left. It is just sort of like a burning heap of teeth and fur at this point, just sort of like the ribbons of an ancient mummy pharaoh come to life, full of malice and rage, but just spilling all over the place. And with that, it'll pass the initiative to Bug'em.
So, not enthusiastically, I'm going to kind of tiptoe back around. You have the eye?
I don't know how to remove it with a flail.
It has the bear. Is the bear still like looking like it's able to?
It's still a threat, but it is in tatters.
Okay. Well, keep hitting it, and try not to destroy the eye.
Bye.
Sage advice.
You did a really good job last time.
Can we presume that Bug'em and Groton basically hurl encouragement towards Sponge for their turns?
I mean, he's such a big person. He's like, I feel like I'd, jostle him or get in the. I don't want to. He's on a roll.
Fair enough.
Bug'em sees his hand in the far corner. What's left?
All right.
It's another of my fingers.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do much than like encourage, but I would also add that like perhaps we wish to lure him into a room with a door, perhaps where the butler were.
It'd create quite a scene.
Or keep hitting it. I mean, I don't know which is gonna work here.
Could I don't know about Groton, and I kind of feel like Groton wouldn't, but would it be possible to kind of hold and just, if there's an opportunity to grab the eye as Sponge is flailing, could I take that opportunity, basically, or would it have to be like, I'm just not sure how viable it is for me to actually get in there,
It is a little tricky because Sponge is sort of blocking the only entrance to the room.
Yeah.
but I can note that if an opportunity arises, to sort of like present you with it.
Yeah, because I do want to help. I just don't want to actually help. Sorry, Sponge, but
It's all right.
you don't get these. You don't get these type of party mechanics in D&D.
You really don't. You really don't.
One useful person in a
I was
fight.
about to say, only in combat. Spongy is completely useless in everything else. Like, let's be very clear about this. This is the only thing he's good at.
Yeah.
All right. So we pass from Bugum to Gröten, and then we have a fresh round. Gröten, who will start us off?
The bear.
Not a terrible choice.
There it is. The bear, with the last of its sort of like withering strength, is going to try to lunge for Sponge's throat and go for the kill if it's able. Sponge, roll to defend.
You got this, Sponge.
16.
Oh yeah, you got this.
With ease. You sort of like place your torch up, or your flail rather, sort of the shaft of it in between its snarling teeth, and
please,
you watch.
Can we just, for sheer flavor, can we please say that I see it coming and I nut him right in the nose?
Please.
Just absolutely headbutt him directly. Oh!
You know, given Sponge's bulk, I will allow headbutt as a form of defense. Just sort of meeting force with force. It's physics. It makes perfect sense. Yep, an equal and opposite reaction. You strike your dome forward and your forehead sort of butt. Your eyes lock for a moment. And you hear sort of the low, reserved snarls of this beast that knows that was its last attempt. The eye sort of glimmers with a furious hatred staring into yours as the rug sort of turns to a cinder of sparkling, flaming ash before your feet, Sponge. The eye sort of tings onto the ground in a heap of fur.
Yeah, you see? It's what brains get you.
Good job, Sponge.
Sponge, could you pick up the eye, please? I would, but hand and also you're kind of in the way.
I feel like Sponge stops for a moment over the rug and just like tries to poke the eye out with the flail.
Yeah.
Just not fully understand.
Put the flail away, and then use your hand. Flail away, hand.
Yeah, no, that makes more sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right.
There you go. You got this. You got it.
Just grab whatever's left of the entire eye socket. There you go. My big shovel hands.
And there's another sort of perfect half sphere, identical to the other. And yeah, together they form a lovely sort of dual-sided, weird eyeball orb.
All right. Yeah.
Just. Are we gonna get? Are we just gonna?
What do we need that for?
The statue.
Which statue?
The one. And I'll actually.
Oh shit! There's a statue in the hallway.
Yeah. Okay. Should we get the prince for this, or is this because it might be embarrassing if nothing happens when you shout open.
Well, something is going to happen when I shout open.
I'm not 100% sure of that, really. Like, you've done it twice already and nothing's happened, so.
Third time's the charm.
Or third time proves the rule. Like, though, you could take it either way.
Just go get them.
Fuck
them. The prince is enjoying the party. Are we about to open the treasure room? Is that the reason why we're doing this?
Yes.
I believe so.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's the only thing that will be more important than the prince enjoying himself.
So you should go get him and Svint.
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
Skip my way down the hall.
I imagine we all kind of like,
Well, I'm gonna stand on top of the staircase and just like, not put it in, but I'm gonna just prepare and be like, oh, open, oh, open. Oh.
Marvelous.
Skip my way down the stairs. Skip my way into the question. When we walked by the 3 portraits again, was there any damage done to the portraits?
No, there was not.
Interesting. Where's the prince? Where's the prince? Where's the prince? We've got treasure. Where's the prince? He'll be healed. All of the gold. Prince, gold, treasure.
Yeah, you burst into the room, the feast hall, as raucous as ever. At this point, most of the guests are either again sort of like involved in like feats of strength, or a number of them are sort of taking turns like standing up on the benches trying to give like the best poem, all of which are trite, dreadful, overly boisterous, just awful. Not that Sponge has a great sense of poetry, but Spin, you have been tolerating this sort of like scene of debaucherous, testosterone-riddled frivolity for a while now, and the prince largely seems somewhere between amused or nonplussed by it all.
Sint has been standing with the prince all this while, and I don't think she's been paying attention to any of the party going on, but she has been spiraling in her own head about the thoughts that she had since she left the statue. On the one hand, thinking that maybe this is all connected, and the person who sent us here, that they knew about this all along, and they were missing still one sacrifice for eyes, so that's why they sent us here, and there's no treasure and stuff like that, and this is all an elaborate plan. So maybe they shouldn't open or fulfill the statue and get another eye in. But on the other hand, maybe they should, for their own gains, open the statue, because that might help them in some way this evening, because the threat of this hunt is very real still, and possibly on them, since they're the only living people here in the manor as far as they know, except for, well, the person in the library and the person who was on the torture wheel, who presumably right now is also dead. So she is like whirling all of this around in her head, and obviously she said that she can't see clearly, and she's like lost in all of this. So she as she gives like a glance around the room, picks up the butcher's knife that the prince gave her earlier, that's like still in her hand, kind of, raises it, takes her hand into the robe, touches the dead rat, but then it's like, no, that's not what I'm looking for, until she feels one of the live ones crawling on her hand. She takes it out of her robes, puts her hand in front of her face, and says, "You will serve a purpose for me to communicate and see." She puts her forehead against the forehead of the rat, kind of touching them both for a moment, seemingly very wholesome, before she lets her hand go away a bit, and then raises the butcher's knife and just chops the head from the rat's body, letting it fall into the ground, blood dripping behind it and blood dripping over her hand from the dead's body that's not like now splayed on her hand. And she, basically says a little prayer, trying to find guidance or a path forward, and hoping that since she already heard the void once last day, maybe she's lucky enough to hear it again.
Marvelous. In the midst of all this sort of like cacophony of like noise and things, Finn sort of like focuses in and tries to commune with the void yet again. Please give me a presence test.
I will. A 16, and for good measure, I'll spend an omen to lower difficulty.
Ooh, incredible. Spin sort of tries to get in touch with the beyond, with the void, with the external forces of the universe once again. The noises of the room sort of drown out into a muffled nothingness as you concentrate, become attuned with the void. And that same similar voice you heard before says, I am quite excited to meet you, Spind. I see that you are so very close. I anticipate your arrival. The room seems still, calm, timeless, but for a moment.
I can see clearly now. She puts the rat in her robes again, somewhere else. I think that's a good idea for Sponge to come in, and for him to look for the prince. Svint is obviously still standing next to the prince, so he would be able to find them both.
Yeah, the prince is sort of swirling his finger around a goblet, and as Sponge sort of arrives, Sponge!
I go walk in. I'm like, where's the prince? Where's the prince? Where's the prince? Realize that people are doing poetry. Stand up on the table, push somebody aside and go, roses are red, violets are blue. You better love the prince or I'll fucking stab you.
Round of applause.
And the prince and goes, right, okay, no, I've got to get to my lord, bows deeply. My lord, we've got to vacate. We've got to leave. It's very important. We've got the health treasure.
Ah, yes. Well, there are a few things more important than that. Let us take our leave of this chamber. I'm no longer bemused by it. Let us seek thrills and my good health elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Bamooze off, you lot. And I feel like I'd start walking and then realize Svind is still off. Svind, you all right?
Yes, we should move.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Sponge?
Come on, my lord. Bug'em Toe said he found something.
I'm sorry?
Well, he's the doorman, isn't he? He does the door things. He's found a special door for you doing treasure and stuff. He says he found a treasure room. As I say that, I like lower my voice real quick. He says he found a treasure room. Then realize that I'm stood too close to the prince and take a step back. Sorry, my lord. No, you don't like to be too close to the peasants.
Well, that's right. But earlier you were carrying the chair a bit, and as I'm told, you've been doing that for some days now, and, well, perhaps I don't feel like walking.
Oh, yes, my lord. Immediately squat like a toddler.
Yeah, and the prince sort of like awaits for you to pick up the entirety of the chair.
Oh, the chair that he sat on as opposed to the chair on my back. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, my lord, no problem.
Yes, quite nice. Let us be off then.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Come on, Sven! Still going.
And down the hall you go, Prince in tow, and all gather around the great statue.
I think this is your big moment, Groton.
Oh, are we ready for the great opening?
You were successful.
Yes.
Lean around.
I'm not sure what's happening, but I suppose I'm ready, yes.
What?
Do whatever you're going to do.
All right, watch this. Open!
I swear, if you smash it against the statue, I'm going to be angry. Open!
You feel the glass orb enter into the socket, almost a perfect fit, with a satisfying tink. The glass scrapes gently against stone and finds its perfect nestled resting spot there within the socket. And again, you hear the familiar sort of machinations from inside, louder than ever before, clicking, whirring, gears sort of scraping against one another, a sort of loud mechanical as the statue begins to sort of splay open in the center to reveal a hidden doorway leading to a set of stairs descending into shadow, from which you hear a familiar cackle, sort of I greatly anticipate our meeting soon. And it's there that we'll leave this episode of Manor Most Foul.
Well, shit.
Nice.
Thank you very much for watching. You can find links to the cast in the description below the video. Please do consider checking them out when you have a moment. A massive thanks to our patrons, currently on screen now, who are instrumental in keeping the shows coming and continue to astound me with your support. If you are wanting to assist with engagement and cannot think of anything to say, then please let me know. How early did you cotton on to the eye thing? Be honest. Personally, you can see my realization happen in real time in this episode, and I had no inkling before then. For now though, last call has arrived, and closing time is here. You are welcome back anytime you desire. Always feel free to wander in.